Yo, 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 what is going on, YouTube? You probably wonder why the heck does this guy have honey here? You're probably confused. Let me explain, bro. Well, it's not that serious. I just wanted to say that raw, unfiltered honey is the best snack known to man. And if you don't believe me, then just kindly unsubscribe, get off the channel, exit out of the video, get the heck off, bro. Please get out of here if you don't agree. Now, that being said, it was kind of just a hook to get you guys to watch the video. I'm going to keep the bottle there so that you watch all the way through because this one's going to be some real talk, almost as raw and unfiltered as that honey is. You know what I'm saying? Also, water. I'm not sponsored, by the way, with any of these, but the water, Bang, Path, whatever it's called, is bomb. And I've been refilling this with my purified water like 9 days in a row, and it still tastes just as good. But in seriousness, guys, what I want to talk about is some unfiltered, raw, 100% authentic, cold hard facts that people don't talk about running a fitness coaching business or any business for that matter. Now, one thing my mentors told me when I first started running this business, and that I've heard over and over and over from a lot of different people, is that as you scale, you also scale your problems. Meaning that as your business starts to make more money, you also basically just magnify everything that's going on in your life. And there's a big saying that goes along the lines of, your business can only grow as much as the personal development improves and the character improves. And that's something that I've dealt with, especially as of recently. Guys, for those of you guys that are on my Instagram, I announced that I wasn't going to be as frequently on there. And the main reason was I was just getting overwhelmed with everything going on because I noticed that as I was focusing so much on my business, other parts of my life were just not feeling as authentic as I would like them to. And what I mean by that is because I was putting so much attention on the business, certain things just started to process in my brain that didn't months ago. And I think that with running a business, it's good to be on full on, go, go, go mode 24/7. Go, go, go. I got to respond to people reaching out for asking questions about how to join my program. Got to reschedule this, reschedule that. Got to make sure my clients have their programs. Got to make sure that my clients are following through and are actually, compliant with the program, right? Got to make sure that my calendar schedule is all synced up correctly and I open up my availability. And then if I have something come up, I have to close it off, right? And it's just these constant, never ending things. And this is something that most people on the internet, especially on YouTube, are not going to talk about. I constantly had these thoughts of as soon as I get my fitness coaching business to earning $10,000 a month, as soon as, I go connect with other business mentors in the space, right? As soon as, I'm able to prioritize my own nutrition, as soon as I'm able to help my clients lose weight, as soon as, I'm able to do all these things, travel, things I want to do, then everything's going to be better. And I was on a call with a good close friend of mine earlier this evening, and we were talking about this exact point, and this is what really sparked this video. And like as soon as I achieved all those things, like I earned like $10,000 in a single month with my fitness coaching business, right? And I was able to travel, right? And I was able to connect with the business mentors, right? And I was able to make some of the relationships, the friendships I wanted. It was cool and all. It was grandiose as it is, but it became overwhelming with the fact that like all of the problems scaled with it. Like everything that was going on in my life that felt like, you know, they were going to just magically disappear. They were basically just put on a temporary hold. And then when I addressed them again, everything started to come back up. Meaning, and like this is just the raw, unfiltered, unauthentic truth. So, like, I don't know who's watching this video. I genuinely don't care. For those of you guys that like my content, great. For those of you guys that hate me and my content, boo hoo. Like, actually, though, great. Like, I really don't care. Um, when I started this business, I was going through some things with my own personal life that were stressful, to say the least. Um, I had just ended a relationship with this girl that I was, in love with, right? And because I had such of an intention of like, I am going to get this business to this point for myself, for my family, to help sick loved ones, all these things. Because I put so much attention on that, on getting the business to a certain point, it was almost like when the business actually got to the position I felt comfortable with, I realized that like those things had already happened and time had just passed, right? So like I didn't fully process the fact that that relationship I was in, was something that was near and dear to my heart. That person that I spent a lot of time with in my life was somebody that I actually cared about and wanted a future with. And, at the time, I also had a family member that was sick with cancer. And my focus was just go, go, go mode on as soon as I get my business to this point, then I'm going to be able to provide for him. I'm going to be able to help him pay for his medications. Then I'm going to be able to help him get healthy so that he can ultimately live this life. Right. And I also, spoke on how, or I should say, thought back on, this is like very recent, on how like when I finally get to this position with my fitness, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then I'm gonna be in a better space. And like the truth is, guys, like all those things were just put on temporary hold. And I think that this is the uncommon and unpopular opinion that nobody's gonna put out there on the internet, but like when you're able to actually understand that starting a business is one of the most stressful things that you can do, and when you can understand that scaling your business also scales your problems, if you are acceptant of both of those two things, then and only then do I think that you should start a business, right? Um, because like ultimately what happened is, you know, 4 or 5 months into getting my business to the position it's at today, where it is making, significant revenue, significant profit, right? And I have the things that I claimed I was after and chasing for so long. You still have to deal with the same problems, right? Like that family member of mine that had cancer passed away, that relationship that I was involved in where, I actually loved the person, right? Like those things, because I didn't address them right when they happened, and I said like, "Oh, I'll think about this later. Like, let me just focus on the business." Right? I missed so much when it comes to like spending time with that loved one that passed away. Not to say I wasn't there, but mentally, I was elsewhere. I was focused on the business because I'm trying to get to the next point in my life because I'm trying to help my family. Meanwhile, I'm disconnected from being there with those final moments of that family member, right? Even though my intentions, my pure heart was, I'm gonna help because my family's in this situation and all these things are going on. I'm gonna help him and them get out of it, right? Because I'm gonna help my business take off the ground, and then from that point, give back, right? But the downfall was like that whole time that I was working on the business, I was missing those final moments with him. Even though I was there, I wasn't fully there, right? And same thing with the relationship, right? I thought to myself, well, as soon as I get this business up off the ground, then I'm going to be able to, be in a better space and deal with this relationship and how it ended and how like it just wasn't a good fit for me. And when I finally got to that position, then I realized that like those problems were still there. And I'm just making this video, guys, to say that like if you don't address the issues that you have going on in your life right now, they're not going anywhere until you actually sit with them and address them. You need to understand the both like the sides of each equation, right? And maybe you can call this me being vulnerable. I just call it authenticity, right? And truth, which is really what it is. Like like for the longest time, I didn't want to speak on how much money my business was making or the personal things I was going through because I thought to myself, well, A, people don't really care that much, but B, I don't want to come off as arrogant or like cocky. But I figured, like nobody on the internet actually talks about these things, right? And so when I did make 10, 11, $12,000 in a single month on the internet, I thought everything was going to be grandiose and it was cool and whatnot. But what ultimately happened was I was just putting my problems, my current problems, the problems that like money can't fix, on the back burner.